Hello everyone, welcome to TS Travel. I'm Dan. I'm in Xi'an right now. It's another great day in Xi'an, another perfect day for a street food tour. Today we're moving away from the Muslim Quarter and trying to explore the area that's on the east-south side of Xi'an. And it's gonna be a lot of amazing street food. Some of the best 肉夹馍 and some of the best noodles in Xi'an. I can't wait to give them a try. Okay, let's go check them out. Guys, right up front, there's one of the most popular 肉夹馍 in Xi'an. It's called Chinuirojamo. Still bright and early, but there's already a long line waiting for the 肉夹馍. Let's go check it out. 你好，一个优质的。好，可以开始。
我说他每天基本上就是这2锅，但是这锅现在已经没有了，基本上就在10点半左右就结束第1锅。
Guys, there's 2 gigantic pot, and they're gonna finish the first pot before 10. 大概多少斤的肉啊
？500斤左右的肉。
It's 500 斤, so it's like 250 kilograms. 这个是猪背肉吗？
瘦身肉啊。
整个背。
对。
The entire back.
对，肋骨，然后五花肉。然后他会把整条肉捞上来之后，会在这边做一个去骨的工作，然后再把汤汁儿和那个油浇在这个肉上。就是
第一次的剥碎，然后在那边再把它切碎，就对了。
对对对，然后就可以加了。然后你可以去拍一下他家。
跟着他，好，谢谢谢谢。白吉饼，我感觉你们的饼跟别人的不太一样。
这是最传统的白吉饼，然后它都是现烤的。它这个就是菊花心。
哦，看得到。
然后这个就是虎背，这个还不是特别明显，有的虎背是
拱起来的。对，
点点的，上面这个花都是黑色的点点的那种。
哇，这饼很厚实啊，感觉比别的地方的厚实很多。
然后它打开之后就是这样的。
哎呦，好功夫！
里边是软的，外面是焦的。
啊，好吃的。
这全是哦。带走。大家不同。大家吃带走。好，谢谢。吃。After waiting in that long line, finally getting myself a nice 肉夹馍. It's really dense, hefty, and you can feel the really hard crust that's just right out of the oven. And a bunch of the meat, the stewed pork. Wow, just happy looking at this. That meat is super flavorful. It has a pretty good balance between that fat and lean meat. So you get a meaty, stringy kind of texture, but at the same time, every bite it's bursts in juices. That more just super chewy and really dense, but it has a nice, naturally rice dough flavor. Love it. A little bit of the meat. Oh, a little salty, really savory. There's a deep savoriness in it. That fat just on the edges. Oh, flavor tongue right there. Oh, melt in your mouth. Wow. Alright guys, this is the 麻酱凉皮 from Chinuirojamo. Let me tell you, looks amazing, really beautiful. It's like a work of art. You have that whitish noodle, generously coated with that orangish red chili sauce, and it's also very, very fragrant. You can smell that sesame that just coming through. And this bowl is special because it was mixed by the owner. Guys, I was really struggling trying to mix this noodle, and the boss, 老板, just come up and help me mixing it. He is the professional. Let me have my first bite. This is probably the best 麻酱凉皮 I've ever tasted. When you bite into it, that texture, it's actually relatively thick compared to the normal 凉皮. And just because it's thicker, you actually can taste that slight chewiness. It's not just, just bouncy or like gel-like. Very nice. And the flavor, very aromatic and xiang. And the sesame paste, really, really aromatic. And you also have the vinegar and the soy sauce and probably some sugar and some MSG. And all just adds up to layers of savoriness. Wow. Come here and try this, guys. And right next to this place, there is the noodle place. We're gonna go check that out right now. Let's go. Guys, we got to 爱华裤带面. 裤带面 means bell noodle, and that's because this noodle is so thick, like a bell, super wide and thick noodles. And what I have here is a variation of the biang mian. It's called 油泼面. They will put dry chili powders, and then they will pour hot oil over it, and it's looking really nice, very generously coated with all kinds of seasonings. Wow, you can see the portion is gigantic, and it's serving in that big pot. I mean, it's not a regular bowl. People don't use bowl in Xi'an. This is super flavorful. Wow, it's a very different kind of sensation. And get layers of savoriness. You really taste that nice seed oil drizzle over the hot chilies. That instant boil of that chili oil. This is really a flavor out of this world. Really aromatic and spicy too. Let's try a piece of the pork. Really flavorful. It's tender and meaty. The vegetables, fresh, crunchy, nice. And that noodle, chewy and thick. It's just so satisfying. Bite into that big noodle, generously coated of all these sauces and spices. Wow, nice. One more bite. Happy. Really a noodle heaven. Xi'an is really a noodle heaven. Guys, this next place we're going to is for 水盆羊肉, one of the most famous in Xi'an. Let's go check it out. Okay guys, I got my 水盆羊肉. 好，谢谢。It's looking very nice. 水盆羊肉 is basically stewed lamb soup or mutton soup. You also have green bean noodle, big pieces of lamb, and also comes with a nice mo, really dense. The guy that's making the mo is full body strength into making this mo to roll the dough. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's try a sip of the soup.
Oh, wow. Really Xian, really umami. Clear soup base, but super rich in that meaty flavor. Let's try the lamb. This bowl has a lot of lamb. The whole set, I think I got a special deal. It's only like 15.9 Chinese yuan. It's like $2. And you get so much lamb. Look at that. Oh, melt in your mouth. Wow, super tender. You bite into it, lightly press it with your tongue, and that piece of lamb just melts away. But you still get that little bit of chewy texture from that skin. This is amazing. Probably the tenderest lamb I've had so far. Let's try another bite. Really soft and tender, but you get the unique lamb flavor in a good way. Not gamey at all, really savory and really flavorful. And there's some green bean jelly noodle on there. Let's try that. Nice slippery, bouncy, soaking all this flavorful lamb soup. Top notch. Let's try a pickled garlic. Oh, sweet, sour, crunchy, not spicy, just very nice garlic flavor. And it's time to try the more. Let's break a piece. Wow, just eat it as is. Oh, crunchy on the outside. The outside is so crunchy, it's kind of like a cracker. And when you bite into it, it's really chewy. Just like a very good bread, just dense bread. Let's try to dip it in some soup. Oh. This more is dense, flavorful, but it's a little dry. Dip it in some of that soup. Oh, becomes moist, chewy, just all the right things for a good more. Oh. Now we're moving east towards Zhongshanmen, and we're gonna explore some of the best street food around that area. Guys, these locals will say they are buying it by 3 dozens or more, like 30 or 50 baozi at a time. It's only $1.50 each.大概你们一天可以卖多少包子啊？2万 20,000 包子 guys. Look at all those 蒸笼. Wow, it's amazing. Guys, this machine rolls out the fillings and then goes to the tubes and get pressed into balls. This is amazing. Gigantic steamer. Guys, this is Zhengjia Baozi near Zhongshanmen, and I've got to tell you, it's super popular, super affordable too. I mean, it's really nice size. It's only $1.50 for a beef baozi. Let's take a bite. Oh, this is the one with leek and the green bean noodle. Really nice flavor. Some tofu in there, really flavorful. And when you bite into it, the dough is nice and chewy. It's not very thick, and it's got a nice chew to it. Combined with the filling, this is actually pretty tasty. Let's try another baozi. So that one was leek, so this has to be the beef baozi. This one is really flavorful. It's got a nice beefy savoriness to it. It actually tastes quite different from the baozi that I had before. Previously there was cumin seasoning. But this one, you can actually taste that the scallion and beef combining together. Top notch. Again, the same nice and fluffy dough. Really nice. Oh, love it.烩菜是烩的意思，就是把这些东西都弄在一起。
这都是骨头汤，
哇，那都是清蒸的是吗？
蒸的。
啊，这是牛肉丸子。
这豆腐干。
哦，哇 ，Look at that, guys！ 啊，好好。那
拿东西料包。
最后这个就是料包。
牛肉块。
哇。Alright guys, finally getting the famous pork of hui cai, and this is with the meatballs. And hui usually just means like putting a lot of stuff together. This definitely is a lot of stuff together. Let me first start with a sip of the soup. Light but rich in that beefy flavor, and it's really Xi'an. Oh, so flavorful. That soup base is top notch. Okay, let's try some of the tofu. This is tofu gan. Tofu. The texture is just right. Baozi, slightly chewy, but still soft and tender. You gotta get your daily vegetable servings fixed. I think it's just water boiled, but soaking in that soup base, flavorful. Now let's try the beef. Oh, it's really beefy, but still soft and tender. Slight chewiness to give you that meaty feel. The beef is actually pretty good. Wow, better than a lot of places that sells beef noodle soup. And I think we have to try the meatballs. They're famous for their beef meatball. The beef meatball is really flavorful. You can actually taste the nice ginger flavor in that beef meatball. And the texture, it's bouncy but still soft. So you bite into it, little resistance, little bounce on your teeth, and then you can just get right through it and it just breaks apart. Really nice, really nice. Exactly how I like my meatball. Just try to use the spoon and get a big bite of everything. And usually people eat this with a bowl of rice or the more, and it becomes like the super satisfying meal right away.我要一只鸡腿，一个鸡翅，然后一点鸡掌。
我来个吃块吧，
好的。Look at what I got here. A big bag of tongziji. I didn't get to see how they cook it, but it's really famous and people are lining up trying to buy this thing. And I got drumsticks and the dark meat and also the white meat. Also got another bag of chicken intestines. Let's start with the intestines and then we'll work our way to the breast and then to the dark meat. I don't know if you guys can hear the chopping action going on the background. There's just 3 chopping boards continuously chopping that chicken. So popular. Look at this. This is, I think they call it thin intestine. 细鸡肠. Let's have a bite. Wow, you really get a chicken aroma, the chicken oil aroma. Really flavorful. That chicken intestine, the texture is really crunchy. And there's a little fat in the middle, so you get bursts of juices in there. And this thing looks really strange. This is, they call it thick intestine, 粗肠. So chewy, this bite. Thick and
chewy. You can feel the differences in texture. The thin intestine is a little crunchy. This one is just purely chewy. Let me try a different one. This is more crumbly, liver kind of texture. Pretty interesting. Let's get to the white meat. So, look at that. A nice piece of chicken breast. Oh, super tender. Wow, amazing. Savory, has the nice umami from it. A little bit on the salty side, probably because I asked for a little more sauce, but it's really nice and tender. Now, let's try the dark meat. Oh, this is a big piece. I'm gonna take the in one bite. This chicken has been exercising. It actually tastes kind of like one of those free-range chicken, relatively lean, and the meat is really bouncy and has sort of a muscular like texture to it. But this is still very tender and very flavorful. Really nice. The breast was amazing. That dark meat is even more phenomenal. I got a piece of, I think this is the end of the wing, like sort of like the chicken elbow. Let's have a try. I love that texture. And this is really, really flavorful. Not too soft, not too bouncy. Just right. Phenomenal. Hey, this chicken is nice. Really nice.
Alright guys, I'm at 半岛台式车轮饼, and let me tell you, it has nothing to do with Xi'an. It's not Xi'an street food, it's Taiwan street food. But I love Taiwanese street food, and I saw this on the street of Xi'an. I have to give it a try. 车轮饼, and I think what I have here is the taro flavor. Let me take a bite. Oh, hey, it's really nice. Wow, that taro flavor. You can taste that creamy taro fillings, but you still can taste a little bit chunks of taro. And the skin, it actually got a little bit of that milky creaminess to it. Slightly crunchy on the outside, a little chewy when you bite into it. It's like a cake. The 芋泥 really top notch. 芋泥馅调得很好。
谢谢。就因为是因为这边现在大部分人都喜欢吃低糖低脂的，要蒸1个小时，手捣的，不是用机器，所以它会有颗粒。对，然后
这很台湾味。
也有台湾小伙伴过来买。
It's the second flavor. I think this is red bean inside. Let's have a bite. Oh, wow! This one, she heat it a little bit longer, so it becomes really crispy on the outside. Loving it. And the inside red bean filling is soft, it's creamy, but you can still feel that red bean chunks in there. Just the way I love. It's not very sweet. Just the right amount of sweetness, mild, sweet red bean flavor. Oh, top notch. Really nice, really nice.